David, the ticket text, get to the callers momentarily. Jared Goff said the Detroit media is negative. I really don't understand that, considering Jared Goff has largely had his ass kissed since arriving to town, including by this show, so I know he ain't talking about us. Jared owes us a commission, frankly. I've been banging the drum for him to get paid since the end of 22.
Bracing Detroit. It's going to happen. So just realize it and don't say, well, no, he's your quarterback.
We'll take a nice 2% slice.
Yeah, Hendon Hooker. Not going to happen.
David, what do you got?
Someone's texting us saying, guys, I think he's just looking out for the other players on the team. Y'all did J-Mo dirty. Let's be real.
How?
Whoa. No. J-Mo.
What has he done to earn anything? And then when he got on the field, we talked about how, look at those first couple of games.
Right.
Like, oh, you want to say, well, look at what he did in the NFC title. Right, he had 2 plays. J-Mo was a borderline top 10 pick that you gave up draft capital to go and get.
I know.
Has he lived up to the hype in 2 years? No.
But see, I'll even say this, Mike. I'll go to the next step. I will acknowledge what he did in the NFC title game and say, if the Lions would have won, we'd be talking about it more. He had that breakout game that we've been waiting for, scoring the touchdown on the end around, scoring the touchdown late. Like, he was an integral part of that game plan. They just didn't win. So we forget about it.
So one game means it absolves the 2 years of injury and the gambling thing, which, by the way, the league screwed him on, but you got yourself wrapped up in it. And then largely ineffective performance.
But see, I was willing to say that maybe that title game was kind of like Jahmyr Gibbs in the Raider game, where it was all of a sudden his breaking out party, where now everything kind of changed after that game, and he became this guy. And I thought, okay, J-Mo, don't do anything stupid in the offseason. How about this? Start training camp on the team eligible to play in game 1. Let's see how you could go from game 1 to game 17 instead of an abbreviated season for the past 2 years. That's been the biggest problem. So nobody did J-Mo dirty. J-Mo kept getting in his own way. That's it.
Tim in Ann Arbor says, talking about the other stooges on your stations, guys, and the ridiculous narrative they continue to push with SOL. It's old and tired. Another person said,
who still does SOL?
I'm not going to do it.
Oh, you know what? Never mind. I know.
Someone else says, Goff is talking about the fans and calling them the media. He is not talking about the actual media.
You mean the people who chant his name?
That's another text that comes in. They chant your name, Jared. What are you talking about? It's not the media or the fans being negative.
Right. I mean, weren't they chanting his name at the Mets game? Like, seriously, in New York. They're chanting your name. Red Wings game, you're not there.
Like, I just
at the grocery store, you're not there. They're chanting your name.
Like, for instance, if you want to play the negativity card, look at a guy like a Lamar Jackson who's been an MVP, who has led his team to the playoffs essentially every year since he dropped in the league. And he gets shredded. Now, I think it's justifiable. But if you wanted to have this stance, you could be like, wait, I'm one of the best players in the league. You're not giving me my respect. Well, yeah, you don't win in the playoffs. Like, there's just nothing to stand on with it. It's bizarre to me because I think fans and media have largely elevated Jared Goff to the best position of his career. Like, I don't think the media ever viewed him as elite when he was with the Rams. Here, I am making the case on a weekly basis, and I believe a lot of this station, I believe a lot of the writers. It's just a weird stance, and you're right when he goes, well, I'm probably in my own head. I think so.
Yeah, you don't have to say everything you're thinking because, yeah, to me, you won this city over. Anybody who was the fringe fan when you beat Matthew Stafford and the Rams, that was it. Because everybody figures you're going to lose to Stafford, and Stafford's going to get his first playoff victory here in Detroit for another team. No, you beat them. You solidified yourself as the guy. Yeah. That was it. You're done. No, at that point, if you were being a Jared Goff hater, you just hated Jared Goff.
So here's my question, right? The other thing, too, is he talks about, well, you don't always have to say we're the underdog. Jared, let me just, not that he's listening, I'm making a point that if he were listening, the one thing I would say is, Jared, you need to get to know the town you call home more. This town will always view itself as the underdog. This town was discarded. This town has been mocked. This town has been a punchline.
Dude, they have a slogan. Detroit versus who?
Right, but he says,
Everybody.
oh, well, the media always talks about us like we're the underdog. Here's the problem. And again, it's how I know he's not talking about us. I go on the air and I straight say it. You need to act like you are the team. Like this is your division. You're gonna win a play. Like I thought it was weird. I'm not angry about it. I thought it was weird. Mm-hmm. And I'm asking fans. Look, I just view it as a way to talk to Lions fans about what is your perception of Detroit media as it pertains to your football team. And just have that convo.
Yeah. Because, I was trying to figure out the catalyst for this. Like, because it was funny because I just kept yelling, David, what, once again, why did he say this? Like, what does he mean by this? Where did this come from?
I think
Kenny and David are just laughing at me the whole time this morning.
Because we would talk about something else, he would come back.
But like,
what is going on?
But you saw the same thing. Like, it's whether you're Jared Goff and you're coming off this real redemption tour where you've taken control of your career again. You're in a great spot. You're going to get paid. I can't imagine caring enough. Or like it's the same thing when Saquon Barkley left the Giants and like Tiki Barber, who's very just, I'll say it, vanilla, boring, whatever you want to say. Like Tiki made one comment. You went to Philly, you're dead to me. As a former Giant, like, yeah. Oh my God, it turned into a furor, and Saquon is, typing like the kitty cat on a laptop. And I'm like, Saquon, you just got paid. You went to a great why do you care? It's such a weird thing. Can you imagine? Saquon gets a check for $40 million. You care what some broken down running back's talking about? You know what I'm saying? Like, who cares? It's not like Tiki Barber assassinated his character. He goes, nah, you're dead to me. You're playing for the biggest rival. He didn't literally say he was going to murder him.
Right.
That's why I can't, with athletes, I just can't do it. They're a different being. They reside in a different planet.
It could be worse. He could be Kevin Durant.
248-539-9797. Your phone calls, all of them.